Every fitness influencer is telling you stay in the gym, always do the work, be consistent. And you listen, but you don't realize that their advice is absolutely butchering your progress. All this talk of consistency, like hitting the gym 6 times a week and doing 4 sets to failure, makes you think you're getting somewhere. But in reality, you're getting negative gains, let alone real growth. If you actually want to feel good while also looking better than most guys slaving away in the gym, then watch till the end. I know what you're thinking. How can less equal more? There's a very simple explanation. See, our body has an internal limit, and this limit can easily be crossed by just doing one of 3 things: training too often, eating poorly, or sleeping poorly. I almost guarantee you're doing at least one of these things. When that happens, you start to lose muscle, you lose energy, and you lose yourself over time. This is called overtraining. About 2 years ago, I was a victim of this too. I always wanted to do more, every single day. I would hit the gym about 6 times a week, sometimes 7. And yeah, I saw progress, but only in the beginning. Then it slowed down because my body couldn't keep up. That amount of volume requires an elite diet, elite stress management, and an elite sleep quality. And I wasn't perfect in any of those areas. So my body started prioritizing survival. Instead of building gains, it began taking them away. And this can happen to you too, even if you're on a normal schedule like 4 times a week. And if you're a young man who cares about his fitness and has a vision for his future self, then this should be absolutely unacceptable to you. You need to break this down and make sure your body isn't pulling you backwards. You need to escape the trap most gym influencers pull their audience into without them even realizing it themselves. The most common way people end up overtraining is by not getting enough quality proteins and whole foods. When you fuel your body with shitty inputs and empty resources, you will destroy yourself. You grab a Wendy's burger thinking, oh, there's protein in that, I'm good. Or you grab a bag of Takis with a bottle of Coke from the gas station, thinking that's what gives you energy. These are absolute landmines for your body. Just because they're cheap and are sold around the corner does not mean you sell your body and your growth for them. They will destroy you from the inside out. They're fake fuel, doing nothing to build confidence or muscle. Low quality proteins that barely digest, gut damaging oils, insulin spiking sugars, and cancer inviting food colorings. Understand this clearly. You're giving your body nothing but shit to work with. Your input of food is not matching the output of training. You're giving your body barely enough to survive and maintain basic health, yet you're still loading it with workouts thinking you're a hard worker. Your body will literally tear itself down, including your drive and your energy, just to maintain its core functions. That's how it's wired. Now, food is not the only factor here. Sleep is massive. In fact, it's probably more important than the food you eat. So let's sit here for a second and think about your sleep habits. If I had to guess, you come home from a long day, stuff your stomach with food, then scroll on your phone while you talk to your friends until your brain finally shuts off at around 1 or 2 a.m. You toss and turn, wake up at 4 a.m. for some water, then you go back to sleep. You wake up at 11 or 12 thinking you recovered anything. That's most people's sleep schedule. And guess what? It's the worst possible thing you can do for your health as a sedentary man, let alone someone who trains. Your body didn't recover shit. It was busy digesting all the garbage you fed it last night. And it couldn't fire up any of your androgens because your dopamine system was absolutely fried before sleep. So now not only did you lose muscle overnight, but you woke up with no energy, no edge, and no ability to get moving, even if your life depended on it. And then you decide to go on your phone again because, well, what else is left for you? Believe me, even if you work out twice a week, let alone 4, and you sleep like this, you will not build anything. But don't lose hope. Your body wants to grow. It biologically supports growing and thriving. But the second you don't give it the right resources to grow, like training too often, eating too little, or sleeping poorly, it instinctively shifts into survival mode, because survival is the #1 priority. And that's the exact moment when your quality of life begins its downward spiral. Your stress hormones skyrocket, your androgens crash, you lose drive, you lose confidence, and you lose the muscle you think you're building. And here's the part most people don't realize. Overtraining doesn't just make you lose muscle, it makes you lose yourself. Confidence is hormonal, and your body will sacrifice that without hesitation if it needs to survive. Same thing with your performance at work, in your hobbies, or in your social life. Your body will dismantle every other area of your life if it needs to survive. All because you chose a Wendy's burger over quality meat, and doom scrolling over an early bedtime. You don't want this life, and trust me, no one does. So if you're serious about your growth, then stop half-assing it. You know you hit the gym, but your diet is lacking. You know you work hard, but your sleep is being destroyed by your habits. If you work out 4 times a week, then eat decently healthy, at least 80% clean. And go to sleep at a proper time, at 11 or 12 instead of 1 or 2 a.m. Wake up with a purpose, not with zero will to live. And if you want to be a madman and train every single day, fine. But understand that everything has to rise with it. Your diet needs to be clean. Your sleep needs to be nearly perfect. Scrolling shouldn't exist for you. Your health becomes priority number 1. This sounds boring to average people. That's exactly why they stay average. If this hit you, then it applies to you. So stop watching and go fix it.